Hey, Ocklawahaboy Rocks, and I've got the apron on. Today I'm going to revisit some bubble opal, Milford, Utah. You saw the video, the rock counting video for this. So I pulled out a box with some little pieces. So let's look through. Let's say we're going to do 5 pieces today, and we'll make some cabs. Alright, I've got 4, 5, 6 boxes of this. I've got several big pieces down in that pile, but today we're going to focus on little pieces. And as I say that, the phone's trying to focus. So that jumps out at me. Kind of want to do some more clearish pieces today. There's one that jumps out at me. That's 2. How about this? Let's see if I can get anything out of that. That'll be 3. Maybe not so much. That's got some promise. 4. And I have no idea what that's going to look like inside, so that'll be 5. So I'm going to trim these up a little bit with the little Raytech 4-inch saw, that ultra thin blade, so I can trim them up and we'll make some cabs. Alright, I talked about in the last video how I was trying to learn how to cut these for the best yield. I believe this is the section with the color play in it that I really want, but I'm not going to get that on the front of a stone being right on the surface. So I'll talk you through what I'm going to do on each of these, and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. I'm going to try and cut this one. I don't know if you can make out, if it's focusing well enough to make out this white layer here. I'm going to try and cut it just to this side of that layer. So let's see what happens. Well, I think I mostly succeeded. Get up here, you can see it. Mostly succeeded. The white layer is on this side, so I may be able to get a thin dome cab there. And I got plenty of material, fairly fracture free on that one. Got a little bit too much acreage on this one to want to make one cab, and I suspect may have a fracture here. So I want to get, again, a couple layers out of here, but it's going to be easier to do that if I cut it this way first. So I'm thinking I'm going to split it right about where that fracture looks like it might be, right up this way, and get 2 kind of pointy teardroppy cabs. So let's do it. Okay, so I had some crumblage here. That's all right. It happened on the saw instead of on the cab wheel. So I know this layer is toast. I can see a little fracture here I'm going to have to work around. This one looks darn nice. Again, I think the top layer is going to be toast. I've got a crack coming in here. So I'm going to try and cut it right along the red line here. And also take some of this host rock off there and get one really nice clear cab. Good grief, I just looked on the saw. Don't know if you're going to be able to see that at all. That's a little tiny thunder egg. Half. I don't even remember cutting that. Well, I don't think I could have cut any more on that red layer. I mean, I was on it. And I got another little flake off there. That's okay. And I don't know if you can see down into this, but there are some awesome little bubbles down in there. Awesome. Okay, so now I've got to repeat my success right along here. Okay, I might have taken a little more off of that than I wanted. It's still looking pretty nice there. So I'm pretty happy with that. And that's going to be almost like a little Star Trek little thing almost. Side, 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 side. Dome it. Look real nice. The next piece. My layer, I'm going to just try and go right through the middle. Dome from here and here. I've got a little bit of a curve there. You can see that. So I'm going to make a cut right along in here. Okay, looking good, fracture free. Looking pretty good. So, time to layer these. It is definitely time to change the oil in my saw. There's those two cab blanks. This one's got a little more of the curve left in it, so I may shoot for a cab out of the middle of this one. Okay, I shaved that little piece off. Got some real nice bubbles going on in there. All right, there's my blank. Next up is this. I think I'm actually going to ignore this for today. I've cut so many pieces out of these other ones, but I'm going to try and get 4 cab blanks out of this. Okay, I did not succeed in ripping it down the middle. So I don't know what I'm going to manage to do with that. Unfortunately, it's got the good stuff on there. So we'll see what I get out of this side. All right, all of this, and this, and this all needs to go in the kitty litter for a day. So that's where I'm heading with it. Okay, here is my bubble opal that has been in the kitty litter overnight and all day. To get the oil off of it, I just spritz it with water to make it show up a little better. I'm going to use this coarse grit wheel here on the expandable gem. It's usually fairly gentle on it to get started, and so I'm going to rough these out and cab them. All right, each of these I have to decide how I want to go about cabbing it. This bubble in the back is what we want to keep. So it'd be really cool if it was cabbed with that close to the surface, but if I dome this, I'm going to lose almost all of it. So I'm going to dome this side of it. Oh, water going here. This stuff works down fairly quickly. Alright, this is starting to take shape. So I've got a good bit of that crust off. Got a little bit of pitting here, so I've got to go down another 1/16 of an inch at least. I don't know if you can see any of the color yet. I do have a little color play in those what they call the nanospheres. But anyway, it's going to be a good looking piece if I don't screw it up. Okay, I think this is ready to go to the finer grits. There is one little pit right there. I'm hoping that'll work itself out when I start to polish up, because if I go any deeper, I'm going to hit, I've got another layer line right here. I'm going to hit that. There's a little bit of a crack right here, but I think that's going to be a problem. So I just need to kind of clean up these edges and get a little more dome on it. There's some dirt embedded deep in here. I don't think there's anything at all I can do about that. Here's the next piece I'm going to try and rough out. I'm afraid it's going to fall apart on me, but I'll see. Okay, I have some more uniformity to that. I've got some different layers showing up. So I'm going to put this aside, get the batch to go to the probably 220 sandpaper next. Next victim. I'm going to kind of smooth this out, but I think I'm going to dome this side and leave the yellow in the background. Well, this one took shape very quickly. I'll smooth that out a little bit. I'll remove those yellow dots on the back and show through a little bit. Looks really cool backlit, but we'll see what it looks like when I finish polishing it up. This one's going to be a challenge, but I really want to see if I can get something out of it. Well, I kind of was thinking about this side, but then ended up doming this side, and I kind of like it. Last one of the day, a super clear piece. Alright, there's that clear piece kind of roughed out. Okay, I've got my lower right corner, these 5 I'm working on here, and I'm over here to the old Lortone machine, and so I can set up 2 stages of grit at a time, and I'll move through sanding them to 1,000 grit. Alright, got my cabs all not polished, sanded to 1,000 grit. Time to put them on the carpet wheel. This is a little bit of a new experiment for me. I haven't tried this material on the carpet wheel. In the past, I have done it on the pre-charged cerium oxide belt, so I'm a little afraid of the cerium oxide getting really embedded down in the crevices and cracks. So I'm doing this to start with on my least favorite of the 5 pieces. Also not so easy to hold on to cabs on this wheel. Just kind of spraying this up close. I can take a water pick to it later if I need to. I'm not really seeing a lot of visible cerium oxide in there. So I'll let that dry. See how good of a polish I actually got. A little spritz of water and start the next one. This is my least favorite one. It's not bad, but going through these layers like this tends to expose a lot of imperfections in the stone, and it's really hard to get a good polish. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Next up is one of the clear ones. So I've got a little bit of light play in there. A little disappointed in this cracked up cloudy part. Maybe if I had ground deeper, I would have gotten rid of that. I don't know. I was pretty happy with this one. I mentioned I left those little yellow bubbles on the back. They show through real nicely in a couple of places over here. So I'm real happy with that for a freeform cabochon. This one, except for the imperfections in the stone, it's pretty much what you're going for with this material. All those nanospheres, he calls them. To the naked eye, there's some color play in there, just, you know, light play. It's not showing up on camera, but those nice clear cabs with the spheres showing is what you're going for. And then this one, thought that one turned out pretty well too. That's the one that I left the kind of gold colored on the back, and I ground down through some of those top layers so it would show on part of it. I'd get the red swirlies on the other part. It took a pretty good polish, so I'm pretty happy with it. All right, hope you enjoyed seeing some cutting and cabbing of some Milford bubble opal. I'll see you next time.